Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we have a 2015, it's a Kia Soul, and the problem with this is that the battery goes dead. It went dead over the weekend. The owner jump-started the vehicle, was able to get it started and used it, parked it again overnight, and it wouldn't start the next day. So, all right, let's figure out what's going on with it. I have a suspicion it's just going to be a battery, because the battery in this one is probably 3 or 4 years old. So, all right, let's figure it out, and we're going to get some test equipment, and we'll get this job corrected. So come on, let's take a walk. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a parasitic. Let me just back up. We are going to do a load test on the battery. We're going to go through the whole procedure of testing a battery to make sure what's going on with it, if there's any kind of a parasitic draw on the system, and also we're going to check the output on the alternator to make sure that the alternator is actually charging properly, which I'm pretty confident it's going to be, but you never know. We'll always follow through everything just to make sure. There's different ways you can do it. One, at the shop here, let me just bring you over here. At the shop here, okay. At the shop, we actually have equipment that is a little more expensive than the average do-it-yourselfer. We use a machine like this to actually diagnose the charging system to make sure that everything is working properly. Okay, so you can buy these inexpensive test equipment, and this will actually test everything you need to know. It'll check the battery, it'll check the alternator, it'll check the charging system to make sure everything is charging properly. All right, now the way you would actually check it is with any battery, you would come up in here and you see where it says 600 CCA. That's cold cranking amps. So you'll take a tool. You know what? Let's go over on this vehicle, and I'm going to show you how it actually works on the car itself. All right, let's set you up here. Okay, so now we're gonna check the cold cranking amps on this battery here, and we can see it's a 600 CCA. So we're gonna check the output of the battery just to make sure. We're gonna do what's called an in-vehicle test. We're going to set now to want to readjust the CCA. 600. Testing. And it should come up pretty much clean cut to replace the battery. 83 cold cranking amps. So it says pretty much replace the battery. So now we're going to do a starter test to see if the starter has is working properly. So we're going to start the vehicle. Well, we'll see if it starts anyway. Okay, so as you can hear, it doesn't crank over at all. So we are not going to charge that battery and retest it. We are going to replace it. This car is a 2015. The production date is actually in 2014 most likely, and it is already 2018, so that battery is already past its life expectancy. So even if I was to start this vehicle with the charge the battery and then start it up and check the charging system, it's not going to be an accurate test, because the alternators will be working like mad to try to charge that battery up or to bring the battery back up to what it's supposed to be. So we are going to change the battery, put a new one in there, and then we'll continue with the charging system test to make sure everything is working properly. So let me show you what you're going to need to replace, or what tools you're going to need to replace the battery. Okay, this is an example of what you're going to need. First, you're going to need a battery, of course. You're going to need something like this here. This is actually to keep keep alive memory on the computer, so that we don't lose the presets on the radio or the GPS or any other presets in the computer. So we are going to use this cable here, and we're going to use a jump start box and plug it into the accessory port in the vehicle and turn the key to the on position so we can backfeed power into the computers and the radio and such, so it doesn't lose memory. We are going to use a socket set like this to remove the hold down bolt. Most likely it's going to be 12 or 13 millimeter. We're going to need a long extension like this and a ratchet to take out the hold down bolt. And I'll bring you in there and I'll show you where the hold down bolt is located. You're going to need a couple of sockets, or possibly a wrench, to loosen up the cables, to take them off the battery. We're going to use a magnet just in case the bolt falls anywhere. And if we have to reach down there and grab it, we can grab it with a long set of needle nose pliers like this. And that's pretty much about it. So what we're going to do over here first, we're going to come down over here. Let's get this machine out of here. We don't need this right now. Okay. Down inside here, you see that bolt right down inside there? It looks like it's about a 12 or 13 millimeter. We're going to remove that bolt and take that mounting bracket out. And then we're going to disconnect these cables here. We're going to turn the key to the on position first in the vehicle, so we're back feeding power through it. And then we're going to take out this negative here by loosening up that 10 millimeter bolt there. And then we're going to loosen up this 10 millimeter bolt, and we'll take that cable off, pull the battery out, and put the new battery back in. So, all right, let's get set up and let's continue. All right, so now what we're going to do is first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out that bolt down at the bottom there. Like I said, it's either going to be 12 or 13 millimeter. So let's give it a shot. Okay, it was 12 millimeter, just so you know. Take this out. Now that mounting bracket, we need to take that mounting bracket out as well. This actually holds the battery in place. All right. Now, before we disconnect anything underneath the hood here, we're going to take this and bring it inside the vehicle, and we'll connect up that jump start box so that we're feeding power back through it. So. Okay, so now we have the battery inside the vehicle is plugged into the accessory port, so we're back feeding power through it. We're going to disconnect our negative cable first, and then we'll disconnect our positive cable. We'll just relocate this over to the side like this for now. And now we'll disconnect our positive cable. Now, even though you have that battery is disconnected, this cable still has power in it, so you want to be careful with that. We're just going to relocate this off to the side. We're going to pull off the battery. This cover comes off just like this. Put this on the floor. We're going to install the battery like this. Now we're going to reconnect our cables. We'll snug this one down. We'll reconnect our negative cable. Okay, and now we're going to go inside and we're going to turn the key back off in the vehicle. Okay, now we have the battery reconnected in there. We're going to take our hold down bracket and we're going to put this back in. Now, if you try to put this in there and you're having trouble getting this in there, let me show you a trick. You take a screwdriver like this, put it through here, and then we'll put this down inside the bolt where it belongs, just like that. And now we can just drop this down there. I'll show you how it went. See? It falls right down like that. So now the bolt lines up, the bracket is in place, and now we're just going to take this back out, and now we can put our screw back in. All right. We're going to put the screw in now just like this. We'll bring it back down there. Put it back inside that hole. Okay, now we'll snug our battery back in place. Okay. All right, now we'll get all of our stuff out of the way. Now, I just want to point this out to you as well. Now you can see that that battery is a little bit smaller than the one that came out of there, but it doesn't matter because the CCA is the same on that battery, the replacement, as it was on the new one that went back in there. So as long as your CCA is correct, cold cranking amps, you'll be fine. All right, now I'm just going to do the rest of the test with this, and we'll make sure that the alternator is charging properly. Okay, so now we're gonna do our test again to make sure that the alternator is charging properly. We're going to connect onto our negative, connect onto our positive. In the vehicle test, 600 CCA. I'm going to test it. All right, 688, it says good. Now we're going to press it and we're going to do our starting test. The cranking voltage is normal. Now we're going to check the charging system. We're going to rev the engine for 5 seconds. Enter to continue. Testing at idle. It's testing diode ripple now. And we're going to turn the loads on and enter to continue. Rev the engine for 5 seconds. Enter to continue. And now it's going to analyze the data, Charging system is normal, 13.44 with the loads off and 13.88 loads on. Charging system is normal. All right. Okay, so charging system is normal. Don't ever replace a battery without testing your charging system, because you may put a new battery in and a day or two you wind up with a problem. So always make sure you check the charging system just to make sure that the charging system is working properly. And that's it. This job is done and out the door and on to the next. All right, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.